Good afternoon, everyone. Are we expecting anybody else on this call? Oh,
Not on our end from the builder or homeowner standpoint.
okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
No, that's all right. All right. So let me just begin to check everybody in. I see I have Mr. Munzel from the planning department and on the screen named Josh. Who am I speaking with?
This is Josh Allen with My Brothers and Sons and Jeremy Culver, also with My Brothers and Sons. We had two separate invites, but we're just here at the same office.
Fair enough. And you guys are representing the applicant today?
Correct, yes.
All right. Let me make sure that I'm recording. Yes, we're good. All right, let me do a brief introduction. It's a hearing script. It's for your benefit as much as it is for mine. So this is the June 11th, 2025 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. My name is Ashton Tucker. I am the zoning hearing examiner for this session for the city of Cincinnati. The case before me today is ZH 20250049, involving the property at 2813 Ambleside Place. Let's see, the purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. First, the applicant or applicant's agents will present the applicant's case. If the public were here, the public will have an opportunity to speak. And then the zoning plan examiner will tell me about the staff report regarding this application and any other testimony that he deems necessary. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to an application, the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut that testimony or argument. At the end of this, ultimately, the applicant will make a closing statement and have the last word. After all presentations have been made, I will close this hearing. Decisions can be expected within 2 to 3 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with Zoom, I will try to troubleshoot it as best I can. If I'm unable to, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. All right, anybody intending to testify, please make sure that you're unmuted and your video is on. All right, if you could raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I will start with Josh and Jeremy. Either one of you can testify, or both. What would you like me to know about your application?
Yeah, so at the address that we have here, essentially, we have an exterior patio space that is pre-existing, that currently has some structural integrity issues as far as the landing from the side door going out onto that with a small deck that is pictured within the assets that we had shared on file. As far as this new area, the existing retaining walls would be remaining as is. Essentially, we are only adding a covered structure, of which everything is from hillside requirements and zoning requirements has been approved. More or less just with the fact that this is within the setback minimums, it's requiring us to move through this process. And as far as what is being constructed is really just for them to have further use of this space, re-update it. The flagstone covered area, the surface that they have on there needs repaired, bringing it up to date. And if we were to move forward, it would be adding an exterior kitchen. So as far as added value to the home that we have as well too, we definitely see it as an improvement in regard to the home itself. All while knowing that we needed to move through this variance conversation. We did reach out to the most immediate neighbor who would have viewing of this area. We do have a letter in regard to all of this as far as approving it on their end too, knowing that yes, this is what the design will look like. We've walked through all those details with them as well too. So from the streets, it's quite the hilly area. You really won't even be able to see this. I did provide some photos of what that street view would look like too. So as far as an impact from the street view, you would not see anything. The only place you'd really be able to see anything is that immediate neighbor off to the right if you were on Ambleside yourself too. So design wise, we'll be using materials that match existing home. Everything as far as siding that's existing, column wraps matching the existing, the cable railing that we're using, everything is to be as close to what is architecturally there as possible. And the homeowner has a very strong opinion of making sure that is the case. So that has been a goal from our end from the get-go. So really on our end, it's to sum it up, making the exterior space useful to this homeowner. A big portion of this home has been remodeled in the past. They just purchased this home not too long ago. So we're trying to grow outside into this space, outdoor kitchen, new landing, and ultimately just a covered patio, or sorry, covered portion of this, which is really the main reason why we are pursuing this variance.
Okay. Anything from you, Jeremy, before I move on?
I think Josh did a fantastic job of summing that up.
Fair enough. All right, Wes, what would you like me to know about this application from the zoning plans sort of background?
Hi, well, as I kind of outlined in the staff report, there's a setback averaging came into play on in this case. And maybe just highlight that the two abutting lots, they're a little bit wider than the subject lot, so it kind of skews the averaging calculation. I mean, they are closer, close to the line, but it's definitely skewed by the wider lots. And as was mentioned, that they're not doing any excavation, they're conforming to the height limit. So just a matter of the averaging calculation for setbacks is what caused this variance process to begin. But other than that, we thought it was a appropriate project. Thanks.
Thank you. And as I said, I would give the applicant the last word. Anything that you want to say before we close out?
Not on our end. We've been very appreciative of the process. It's been very straightforward. And if you guys ever need anything else as far as assets or anything else, just let us know and we're happy to help.
Okay.
Very much appreciated the staff report and Wes, your input. That
was great to read through.
Yeah, we really appreciated that.
All right, fantastic. So based off of what I'm hearing and what I've read in the staff report, I do intend to approve this application. I do have to formalize that in a written decision. Again, you will probably get that within the next 2 to 3 weeks, okay?
Okay.
I did have one question if this is the place to
Sure.
that in regard to the current permit that we have on the project, is that will that essentially continue moving forward once that result is given in the 2 to 3 weeks, or is there anything on our end that we need to reach out to for the city of Cincinnati to continue processing?
Right. That part I can't really answer for you. I don't know if Wes has perspective on that. Thank you.
Hi, yeah. So yeah, once the variance is formally approved in writing, then the permit can be approved for zoning. So I try to kind of note that when the emails come in, but if you want to send me an email when you get the approval, just to remind me.
Understood.
To go ahead and then I can go into the permit and approve it for zoning. So that, yeah.
And Wes, one thing that is, I think, maybe unique I remember you and I discussed this because we ended up separating out the interior, the bathroom work. So we have that permit that's approved. And so do we need to, for this exterior work, do we need to submit anything else after the variance gets formally approved, or what we submitted prior to with the exterior work, is that okay to just keep that moving forward?
Well, so do you have two permits going then right now?
That's the plan, is we'll have one for the interior so we could keep that project moving forward. Then the exterior would be a separate permit.
And
Okay.
the interior has been approved and
Yeah.
is good to go.
Okay. Well, the one that's in the packet here with this case 2025P03630, that's about the deck and the patio stuff. So I can approve this one
Great.
when Ashton writes up the decision, and then the interior one that you said it's already been approved, right?
It's
Yeah.
an entity, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't need to do anything else for this exterior permit. Just
Great.
remind me that it's been approved and I'll go into the system to approve it.
Great.
And then you'll have to wait for the building department to finalize the paperwork.
Okay, great.
Got it.
And you have Wes's information?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, we will be reaching out.
All right. All right, well, thank you guys so much for your testimony and attention today. I will be closing out this hearing.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.